Hello, I am ChessChuck, and today I am going to show you an incredible endgame. We are going to learn such concepts as the square, how chess imitates life, and how chess is nothing like life. If that sounds confusing, just look at this position. The white pawn is 2 squares away from becoming a queen, but the black king is in the square. What is the square, you may ask? If you draw a square around the black king and the white pawn, and the direction in which the white pawn is moving, a6, a8, c8, and c6, you will see that the king is inside the square. That means that the black king will catch the white pawn before it can be promoted to a queen. Meanwhile, the white's king got all the way to the end of the opponent's back rank and is far too slow to catch the black pawn, who is going to become a queen in 4 moves. If you draw a square around the black pawn, which is h5, d5, d1, and h1, you can see that the white king is way outside of the square and therefore cannot stop the black pawn from becoming a queen. And yet, white needs to try to draw the game. White has to decide what to do. Do they move the king towards its own pawn to help it to promote to a queen? Or do they move the king towards the black pawn and try to stop it? Here we need to discuss something counterintuitive for humans about chess. Everyone knows that the fastest way to get somewhere is to move directly in a straight line. In chess, however, that is not the case. Whether the white king moves in a zigzag pattern or directly, it will take 7 moves to reach the h1 square in an attempt to block the black pawn. Let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now let's move in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No matter how you move the king, you will get there in 7 moves. Armed with this knowledge, the best move is to play king g7. This moves the white king towards both pawns. Let's suppose black plays king to b6, threatening to capture the pawn. White must continue to move the king towards both pawns by playing king to f6. Now white is threatening to catch the black pawn, so if the black king captures the pawn, white plays king to g5, winning the black pawn. Therefore, black must move the pawn down to h4. And here, white plays an incredible move, king to e5. Black still cannot capture the pawn because the white king gets into the square, playing king f4. So black has to play pawn to h3, after which white plays king to d6, and the game is drawn. Black will likely play pawn to h2, followed by pawn to c7, and then both sides will queen their pawns. Let's go back to the initial position. Black can also try to move their pawn to h4 immediately after white's first move. In this case, white still plays the king to f6. And now if black pushes the pawn to h3, white simply plays either king e7 or king e6, and again the game is drawn, as both pawns will be promoted at the same time. What an incredible position. The key takeaway is to try to do several things at the same time when you make moves. Just like the develop attack 1-2 punch, moving the king towards both pawns in this position allowed white to draw the game. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing chess content. See you next time.